Hi friends, I'm Les Mood, your host. Welcome to the Destination for Innovation series brought to you by the City of Bakersfield and GreenTech Network. Today we're in beautiful downtown Bakersfield and we have a special guest, Jeanette. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Les. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's really amazing to be here in this wonderful spot that you helped put together and talk.
Yeah, it was a labor of love by not only me, but the entire city of Bakersfield and all the people who live here.
There's a lot of labors of love going on here in Bakersfield. Could you share a little bit about yourself and maybe something the world or your associates don't know about you?
Oh dear. Well, let's see. I was born and raised in San Francisco and I migrated here. And so I was quite surprised when they asked me to run the centennial for the city since I wasn't born here. So it was a wonderful time of research and getting to know even more about the city. But I had lived here about 10 years or so when I did it. So it was a wonderful experience.
In terms of what you're doing today, what would you say, where would you point back to your journey beginning? Whether it be art, management, writing, so forth.
Well, a lot of things led me to coming to Bakersfield, and I am from San Francisco. And I was really enamored with the way the people embraced everything that I loved about life. And I was doing a show on Channel 23 when my producer said, well, would you help us with the art museum? And I said, there's an art museum here? I did not know, because at that time, Les, the art museum was in kind of a small utilitarian building behind camellias. And the camellia gardens I knew, but I didn't know there was an art museum there. So that was where I began my arts in Bakersfield. And I went on to work there at the art museum and at 23. And eventually I take on the centennial celebration. And that's why there's so much arts here in the plaza.
In terms of what you're doing today, what are you doing these days to make the world a better place, a more beautiful place?
Well, in 2001, I started at the Arts Council of Kern as their executive director. And I came on at a time when arts in Bakersfield was kind of, I should say, relegated to a back seat or put on the back burner. And when I first went to my very first talk in Sacramento, I was told I came from the laughingstock of California. Well, for me, that's like slapping me with a glove, because now we're going to duel. And within 3 years, we brought Bakersfield and Kern County up to the #1 Kern Arts Council, the Arts Council of California. I'm sorry, I'm going to back up. We brought Kern County into the #1 position in the entire state of California for the amount of programming we did, the amount of funds we raised to support the arts. And I was very proud of that, so I could go back to Sacramento and say, we're no longer the laughingstock.
Wow, you really proved a point in your career. I'm sure you've seen a whole lot, been through a lot, and including some struggles, right? Could you share maybe some struggles in your journey or that you've been a part of or witnessed, and then maybe some triumphs associated with those?
There were various different times in your life, which we all have in our life. Both personally, my husband passed. He designed the logo for this particular plaza. He was an art professor at BC, a beloved professor, and he passed away. And while I was still at the Arts Council, it was in 2004, and the Arts Council rallied around. And one of the things I love about Bakersfield in particular is the community spirit and the spirit of genuine love and caring for each other. I've discovered that is really strong here. And so when people said, well, are you going to leave, Jeanette, now that Nelson's passed? I said, no, I'm not going to leave. So I stayed on with the Arts Council until 2011, at which time I did leave so I could go and produce my own book. I wrote a book on poetry, and I did a lot of art and gallery shows. And then when they called and asked me back, I came back.
Wow, that's really amazing. I'm actually really happy that you're here and appreciate you taking the time. Do you have some advice that you would like to share with either the community or the world or maybe some up-and-comers?
One of the important things I find is people don't have what they want because they don't go out and look for it, or B, they don't ask for it. And one of the things I wrote many years ago, if you say you're a writer but you watch more TV than you spend writing, if you say you're an actor but you won't try out for community theater, if you say you're a visual artist but you never pull out those paintbrushes, or you don't dance, then you've lost out on a wonderful opportunity to have an arts in the creative arts community. You've lost out on an opportunity to participate. So I always tell people, just try it. You've got nothing to lose. You know, so you're not Picasso, you're not Rembrandt. You can still be you, and what you have to offer is valuable.
Wow, I love that. Actually, I always encourage people to be you, and I love to just try it. In terms of opportunities, this next part of the conversation is more of a thought experiment to think about what are the possibilities. Obviously, there's some roadblocks, some things we would like to see moved out of the way, but this part is more about what are the possibilities. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, so the first part is just what is some low-hanging fruit that we could bite into, that society could bite into to make the world a better place?
Well, let's talk about here in Bakersfield, and let's talk about Kern County, and let's talk about the arts, because that's what I'm particularly involved in. If you really want to participate in the arts in some form, find yourself a mentor or volunteer at an art museum, at the museum, with anybody who is in the arts. Volunteer for the Arts Council. Get involved in your kids' classrooms so you can do something. People are really open to people who want to give of themselves. And that's the way you can find out, is this right for me? Because if you try it, it's kind of like an internship. If you try it, you might find out that's not the field I want to be in. I'm going to stop because that noise is very disturbing. So I recommend to people volunteer. There's lots of opportunities to volunteer, and there are some places out there that just need somebody to come in and say, hey, I know about social media. How about if I do your Facebook, your TikTok, and I'll help you. And at the same time, you're learning all about what they're doing. I also suggest that people find out by just listening to their hearts. If there's something deep in your heart that's trying to get out, you generally know it. Yeah, it's not like, you don't always have to listen to all the advice out there. Sit down, get quiet, maybe come out here by the fountain and listen to your heart. And then take a step in that direction. It never hurts.
Listen to your heart, take a step in that direction. Love it. What are some of the bigger challenges and opportunities that we should not ignore and that we should also bite into?
Bigger challenges. Well, I'm going to say that we need systemic change in all communities, and Bakersfield's not without those. We find that the arts help people make a change of heart. It helps them to find ways to express themselves non-violently. So we go into prisons, we go into juvenile detention, we go into at-risk communities, and we take arts to them. We don't ask everybody to come to us to get the arts, but we'll take it out there. And we've seen people's lives change because of it. We've seen transformation through art. We're going to have an art show that is all prisoner art. It's all arts from the prisoners who are in fact transformed by the art. And we have programs in the juvenile detention where young people are creating music, and these are gang members who are usually not friends, but they come together for the common good of making music. So we find that there's ways that you can use the arts to help make systemic change right here in Bakersfield.
In terms of systemic change and transformation in culture, what role do you see community playing in making the world a better place?
Well, Les, I'm glad you asked, because it's up to all of us. We can make a difference by talking to our next door neighbor and helping them in some way, or encouraging a young child who shows artistic talent but doesn't know what to do with it. And it's not by teaching them necessarily how to make that perspective work, but encouraging them to keep at it, to keep drawing, to keep painting. And it's parents, the teachers, schools, everybody.
In terms of your legacy and everything you're working on now, what would you like to have accomplished, or what would you like to see you and your associates accomplish in your lifetime?
In my lifetime, a legacy piece. Well, we're standing in one of them. I was showing you the wonderful mural up there that's been up there 25 years, and it's because it was made to last. So we want to educate people in Bakersfield that art is not a play toy. It's not a climbing experience. We're going to be doing more public art in Bakersfield very soon, and we want to educate the entire community that art is to be appreciated and viewed, and maybe write a poem about, but don't let your kids climb on it. So that would be a part of what I would hope would be my legacy, is to teach people the value of the arts in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. It's truly beautiful. And typically conversations that I have revolve around technology and transitions, transformations, evolutions. I'm curious from your perspective, whether it be that or just in general, in terms of community and development, can we have an inclusive process, and if so,
Yes.
how?
Yes. Well, you had about 4 different rabbit trails I could have gone down. But I'm going to say that the good thing is the state of California within our school systems has added social media as an art form, which is very important. They just created STEAM instead of STEM. So it's no longer just science, technology, engineering, and math. It's now science, technology, E as engineering, and A, arts and math. I was trying to emphasize that.
Right?
But these are small changes that have occurred over a period of years. And I think this creating a space for technology is important. We can't just say, well, everybody has to pick up a paintbrush. Some people are going to pick up a camera. Some people are going to draw on their computer. Some kids have never had a paintbrush in their hands and they only know how to do it on the computer. Great, encourage that.
Well, I'm really grateful that the A is now added to the STEM and we have STEAM going on, because I believe as well that art is an important part of the community and innovation in general. And I'm curious from your perspective, here the show is called the Destination for Innovation, and we're here thanks to the city of Bakersfield. In your view, what role or what opportunity is there in Bakersfield to be a destination for innovation?
Well, right now I'm in the midst of a big project I can't really talk about completely. But this project brings technology and it brings music and it brings the arts all together to create a destination location right here in downtown. So we'll have to talk again at another time when I can give you a tour.
Really? So you're literally combining it all,
Combining it all.
and I love how you're bringing physical spaces, not just art pieces like this here and what you're talking about and referencing here that we'll be hopefully talking about soon and celebrating. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and thank you for everything you're doing in the community and the world.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And thank you for doing this for Bakersfield. We need all the things we can get to make us feel good about our city.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of getting a hold of you, how can people reach you, get involved with what you're
I'm the executive director of Arts Council of Kern. They can reach me at director@kernarts.org.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Les.
All right. And thank you for joining us on the Destination for Innovation. Be sure to connect, collaborate, and create with Jeanette, and we will see you soon.